You're listening to The Can-Do Experiment. Parental advisory is advised.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Can-Do Experiment. I'm your host, Can-Do.
And I'm your co-host, Heavy.
And I'm Pete.
Hi, Pete. Today's going to be a really excellent podcast episode. Today we got Dan DeGlopper on from Niagara Quartermaster's Airsoft Field. What is your call sign, dude?
Oh,
Do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh.
My call sign is Romper.
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 It's a beautiful fit, and I bet you look elegant in it.
Oh, yes. That's not where it's from, but yes.
I'm actually kind of excited to hear the story behind that. But yeah, so today's episode is just going to be just another one, just chatting.
Not a lot of chit-chattings and stuff.
Yeah, but we're going to do something different. We're going to say talk about our sponsors.
Yeah.
Because apparently I tend to forget every single episode.
Same.
So let's get the easy ones out of the way first. So obviously we got The Compound. So they decided to sponsor us over at, we got the official word at
Airsoft Fest.
Yeah.
There's a firm handshake from Magic Mike himself.
Yeah, so that's just kind of nice, just cooperation within the community there. We got Set Media, Keanu's Corner.
Yeah.
And obviously Blackcell, our main sponsor to this day. And I should have had this pulled up ahead of time. Okay, here we go. So just so you guys know, if anyone's curious, Blackcell is starting a volunteer program. So first off, if anyone uses Discord and you haven't joined their page yet, go ahead and do that. They're going to be doing a lot of announcements, field rules, all that kind of stuff right on there. But they just announced a volunteer program. So essentially, you can either volunteer for like your time for a whole game or half a game. There is details up here if you want. So basically you can do chrono duty. So 2-hour shift, you get 50% off your admission for the price, priority access to the chrono. So basically you can get in, get all your stuff ready to go, and then more time to relax. Yeah, if you do the full event, if you're going to be like an NPC or a special character, you get free admission because you're not going to be playing, not in the traditional sense anyways. But it's a lot of fun if you guys have never tried it. If you want something different but still be involved, it's really cool because usually he kind of comes up with a storyline and you're going to help progress that, and you're going to give out missions and things like that. And one last thing, there is also a volunteer to be game control. Now, to do that, you actually have to submit an application, and because they're only going to be taking a certain number of people.
Make sure they know the rules.
Yeah,
you know,
make sure all that. So it's
pro tip: read the damn rules.
Yeah, read the rules. I can't tell you how many times we've said that on this show. But yeah, so and game control is
game control.
That's a thing you can do if it's something you're interested in trying out.
It's true. Teresa did it at Narco. Had a great time. Gave out freezies and stuff.
NPCing is fun though.
I love
It's
NPCing.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like what was it for Warzone? I did it.
Yeah,
Blue Lightning
Warzone.
and Blue Lightning the Third. Very original characters.
Did we do any other ones?
We did like the John Wick thing.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Keanu's still
that
the
was a
king
good
of
one.
NPCs though. For
man.
for that
Keanu
sense.
is the king of
Yeah.
He takes all the glory from that one.
Adam does characters so good. I'm legitimately upset when they get killed. Like,
Yeah,
I want Hobo Steve and Johnny Utah to come back.
Johnny
but
Utah
I
was
think
like
they're both
champ.
dead.
Johnny Utah was from Narco 5
Yeah, I think it was
when I
Narco
did
5.
Command.
Yeah,
I lost, but I'll get redemption one
and
day.
that Russian dude,
I don't know.
Ivan the Russian hacker.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
he got shot.
Yeah.
That was good.
Basically, what you're saying is all your NPCs are dead.
No, he's got like 50 NPCs. And he'll only bust out a few of them at a time, and I'm like,
It depends on what game they're playing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a full chance to see all of his characters for the last Narco because we ended up hiding in the woods a lot.
And then we died.
And then we died, and then we
died.
got a bath in the garden hose.
It was hot.
It was a hot one. But anywho's, is that our announcements?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much it. Join their Discord. You'll see all the stuff. They have event pages, and then you can, it's still getting going.
Yeah, they're on top of it though.
Yeah.
I write in it sometimes, and they write back to me, and poke holes in the
I
rules.
actually am going to try to make a valiant effort to be active on it
Really?
and help out. Yeah.
Wow.
Considering I'm still an ambassador.
I mean, that's fair.
I think that's probably the best running joke at this point. I haven't played airsoft in
you're
like
an
2
ambassador
years.
or that
I'm,
we're
st-
ambassadors?
I'm still an ambassador.
Okay.
Oh, for you, it makes sense.
I show up.
You show up.
Hang
You
out.
do the bare minimum. I don't.
I don't even know if I'm doing the bare minimum, to be honest with you.
But you know what? We love those guys. We love their games. And the reason we like helping out so much is because they are phenomenal people and they really care about the events that they run. So that's why I'm very happy to help out. But yes, that is it for our announcements for now. We'll have some shout outs later on. And let's get into it.
All right. Daniel DeGlopper.
Mm-hmm.
Romper. How you doing? Have you been?
I've been good. Field's been busy. Busy doing a bunch of behind the scenes for upcoming games and everything. As far as the season's gone, it's been a little up and down, to be honest. Based on last year's numbers, we averaged 120 to 125 per Sunday.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of players.
It's this season, we're averaging just shy of the 100 mark, so it's not a huge difference, but what we're noticing and what we're hearing from the community is it's expensive. Like,
well, going every week,
and not
$25.
Not only like it's expensive to the point that the economy is taking its toll on a lot of people. Our player demographic is 18 to 35. That's the meat and potatoes of what we do. And
I'm starting to get past that.
I'm well past it, but I'm still out there. If I can still run around and do it, But no, what they're telling us is things are catching up to them. COVID didn't help. A lot of people didn't realize you had to pay CERB back, and those bills are coming due.
And the moment I heard that, I was like, "Oh, it's fishy." I don't know any details. I don't want to know.
I worked all through COVID, so
same.
I was considered essential.
We're essential.
Yeah.
You're a city worker, aren't you? So you are essential.
Yeah.
I renovate kitchens. I'm not.
People still need cabinets.
Oh yeah.
I still
So
have to
is that
plow
really?
roads, fix potholes, do all the fun stuff. But no, it's like guys have told me, they have to split it up to every other week instead of every week, it's easier on the budget, right?
For sure.
So that's a little bit of the decline, and I've talked to a few other fields as well, and they're feeling that pressure as well, and they're hearing a lot of the same things that financially guys are picking and choosing. And some guys that have never played MilSim, they bankroll that, right? They're holding on to the cash and going, okay, I'm going to do one full weekend where I get 3 days away and I can go and play instead of, hey, I'll just play every Sunday, right? So, but the numbers still come out last Sunday of every month. We're still doing our MilScrim series. So that seems to have, we're still pulling 150 to 160 for those games. So that seems to be a lot of guys coming out to those. And
last month seemed quite eventful and busy.
It was
hot.
It was. The storylines, we were going to do a full series, like best of 4 type deal. But when we sat down and looked at that, I'm like, well, you really can't, because it's a walk-on style, right? Where we're not, there's no pre-registration to get on a team. There's nothing of the sort. You just walk up and
hope.
The ladies in the booth are doing everything to separate as, hey, if you're a group of 4, great, you're going here. You're a group of 2, you're going over here, right?
Yeah.
And they try and keep the numbers. And we know a lot of players, right? Like, everybody gets to know them. We have a lot of regulars. And even the guys that aren't regulars, just from being in the community for almost 8 years now, we know the level. Right, you can look at a player and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, we know you. We know who you play with." And
it's been a while, but have you been?
exactly. And we try and balance the teams the best we can right off the hop from registration.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, it's been really good that nobody has been stacked and there hasn't been any total domination. Like, we had one game that was separated by 10 points after 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
Let's see what happens this weekend.
Yeah. Hey, everybody needs to come out.
Yeah, definitely come out, hang out with Yellow.
Caleb will be commanding against one of my teammates, Ethan,
Brucey.
otherwise known as Brucey.
He's a good boy.
He won last
Is that
month.
this weekend?
That's this weekend.
Oh, shoot.
That's the
Yeah. I knew
25th.
I knew I had something coming up this
Yeah,
weekend.
it's this
That's
weekend.
it.
Oh, okay.
I got
guess I'm playing this weekend.
I got to leave camping real early in order to get there on time. So
We'll have reserved parking for you.
thank you. Oh, but let's just kind of start square one with you then, and just kind of backtrack. Like, how did you guys start? Like, I met you guys when you started, but for the audience,
Yeah.
when did you start? Why'd you start? Let's get that resume going.
I actually got pulled into this by my son, 12 years old.
Baby Landon.
Yeah, baby Landon. So he had wanted to play for at least a year or two prior.
Yeah.
And just due to his age restraint, couldn't. Turned 12, took him to the field. Literally did not have high hopes for it. Figured he would get shot 4 or 5 times.
Oh, this hurts. I'm going home.
Yeah, I would pack the car, go home, and we'd find something else to do on Sundays. He got shot, came off the field, took it like a champ, and I was just like, okay, this is different.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, it's Father's Day, Father's Play Free, I got dragged onto the field.
Ooh,
Here
yeah.
I am, out of shape as can be, rental gun in hand. First guy that pulled up on me, I watched that baby leave the gun. I was like a deer in headlights. I never moved. Smacked me square in the head, and I was hooked. I'm like, we're doing this every weekend.
Do you remember who it was that shot you by any chance? or
Steve
no?
Ingram, one of our former reps.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Right out of the bank window. I watched it travel the entire distance,
Like,
never
wow,
moved.
that's coming at me fast.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it was impressive. But the nerves, like I was shocked at the adrenaline and the nerves of your very first game.
yeah.
I was literally shaking at one point. Like, oh my God, people are shooting at me. Like, this isn't normal.
Yeah, it's weird how immersive you can get in a
Oh,
game sometimes, man. Like,
Very much so.
it's feeling life and death sometimes, and I'm like, oh, this is cornstarch. I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be fun. No bullet holes.
But we started out there, and before you knew it, my wife, who runs our booth now, she was the parent in the safe zone,
Yeah.
right? And she was watching a lot of what was going on and picked up on a lot of things of, well, hey, we could do this better. This could go better. And it was really her that sort of pushed me into, oh, okay, yeah, we can step up a little. Yeah. And I built a relationship with Glenn, our former manager, and I co-managed with him almost halfway through my first season. Like, I knew nothing about airsoft, but business-wise, we could change some stuff.
Yeah.
We could make the field more, not a lemonade stand on the side of the road, but a real field, a real
A
business.
food truck, if you will.
Hey,
Yeah.
the lemonade stand wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't. It honestly wasn't. And it's funny because I talked to a lot of the players that have been around for years.
Yeah.
And they miss the old booth. They miss the old, hey, okay, yeah, it was a little run down and the place needed a facelift, but it was home.
It was dangerous.
It was. At a certain point, it became quite dangerous.
Having hung out in that booth for multiple hours at a time for multiple Sundays
Yeah.
for
How
a
many
couple years.
How many raccoons are eyeing you now, eh?
Your new booth is way better.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Cleaner.
Well, we took advantage of, like, when COVID hit, we actually had to shut down for a little bit.
Yeah.
While we were waiting for the okay from the region and everything. And the funny part about that was when they came out to the field, because we had to pass an inspection, they're like, well, you guys are social distancing, right? I said, we're the originators. Like, you don't want to be near anybody on the field. Like, do you
Yeah.
understand what we do? It's
Here, take this gun and let me show you.
yeah, exactly. You want to get away from me. So we were cleared that way, but we put a lot of work in. We changed the whole safe zone around from the 8 tables that were there to over 40 now. With the new booth, new chrono, new everything, we put the range in for sighting and testing and all of that.
I appreciate
And
that
then
one.
all the construction on the field that we've done. Like, I found that coming every week as a walk-on player, it became stagnant after a while. Everybody had their favorite hiding places. It's just like playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody has their favorite spots to camp. Everybody has their favorite spot to run, same route. And you learn it after a while. So we had to change that up. And so this winter, we started in February. We put Main Street in. We added 12 more buildings, a couple of 2 stories now.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
Elevation makes a big difference for gameplay.
Oh, yeah, it does.
We put the new town off the safe zone, which doesn't get a lot of use, just mainly because we're having some issues with logistics with it, how to get it to play. We think we have it now. We think it's pretty well figured out.
It's a nice training spot, too.
It is. It comes in very well for putting up the targets and doing time shoots and team training and stuff like that. So we've had a few teams reach out to us and say, hey, can we use the field on a Thursday night? Well,
Guilt to you.
Yeah.
We've used it.
Yeah, it works. It works well. And the bigger problem that we've seen over the years, though, is as you're building, as you're changing, you're not going to make everybody happy. So a lot of the tried and true things that were always there that everybody enjoyed, we did change around a little bit. Things are missing. We had to take down some stuff to build new stuff.
I mean, sorry, this thing was rotting out.
Exactly. Like we literally have a couple of buildings that we're still shocked that they're standing, but they're in play. They work well. In front of Scally. That dilapidated
I didn't
tower.
help build that.
Yeah.
No? Looks like your handiwork.
I just remember playing there on a Sunday, like way back when, and walking through the old kill house.
Yeah.
And my foot going through the floor, and I was
Yeah,
like,
we put a new floor in. The cantina's up. We have the sniper tower now, so it's the 2-story at kill house.
It's been a while for you, eh?
I haven't been there
since you've missed a lot.
I know.
You've missed a lot.
Check out a sweet 2-story
We
building.
do have bigger plans. We listen to the feedback, and I tell players every Sunday, if you have any constructive criticism,
is the word, boys and girls.
Reach out, let us know, talk to me at the field. I am there every Sunday. I will listen to any complaint, concern, anything you have. And
even a suggestion.
Yeah, suggestions go.
What about putting this here? That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
And we've done that. Like mid-game, I've had guys, it's rare that I get to play our field, but when I do, I've had guys mid-game come up to me and go, hey, you see this over here? That's the problem. Now that you're out here, you can see what's going wrong with that. And I'm like, I get it now. Now that I'm playing, we need to change that. So
that was something I really enjoyed while I was doing game control, because it gave you an opportunity to really see how the field played, and you get to see those spots where there might be an unfair advantage.
100%. And that's where I find being game control it's very hard as a player, because you stand there and you watch that 12-year-old rental player, and he's just getting hammered every time he comes to the same spot, and you're looking at it going, 3 feet to the left, buddy. Just move 3 feet to the left and you're okay.
Just scooch, duck, and go. We got this.
The flip side to that is
gun up, too.
You get instances, for example, there was one time I was reffing, and there was a team defending Scallywags, and Tyler Porter was laying like 3 feet off in the grass with a Desert Eagle. And enemy team's coming in, and he starts popping players, and he shoots one guy, and there's a guy like 2 feet to the left that goes, oh, there's a sniper in the back. I was standing in the ref tower just laughing.
I'll give Tyler this. He was laying behind Scally, and I was on his team that day, and I actually stepped on him, and all I got was this arm up grabbing my leg going, can you please move? I had no idea he was even there. It just felt like soft ground, man.
He's a soft boy. He's so funny like that, too. Like, fuck, if that was me or something, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? He's just like, please move.
Yep. He didn't want to give his position. I didn't want to give him away. I didn't even look at him. I just stepped to the side.
Yep.
But no, like the dynamic of the field has really changed over the past, I want to say 4 years.
Yeah, it has.
Glenn had an opportunity and took that in Alberta. Mm-hmm. He moved out there, and we had a little sit down before he went, and he says, hey, guess what? I'm leaving this on you. And I'm like, well, nobody's asked me if I wanted to do this, but
thanks for asking. Okay.
Yeah. So it just pretty much got handed over to me, and we looked at it and said, well, okay, when COVID hit, we needed to redo a bunch of things. So we took that opportunity. And then when we fired back up, I was very nervous. Are people going to like the changes we made? Like, did we overdo it? Like,
who's this new manager guy? He's only having 2 years in airsoft. What the heck?
Exactly.
Changed everything.
Yeah. And that's
the mental brain.
And that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And thanks to you guys, like, I've known you for, my whole airsoft
Your
career.
whole airsoft career. I watched you blossom into the beautiful young man you are today.
But the first night I ever walked into Niagara Quartermaster when my son was 12, Caleb was in the store and set them all up. It was the necessities, right?
Yeah.
It was, hey, you need to be safe. Good eye pro, good face pro. Like, you need bare minimums. That's what you need. And
well, Dad's right there with the wallet starting to swell from being bruised so much.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, how much more can I buy tonight?
But lots.
It paid off to not walk into it blind and have an experienced player give you the info you needed to actually show up to the field, be comfortable, be able to play. I see so many young players, new players show up, and they just buy what their buddies are telling them to buy. Yeah. Oh, well, you need goggles, you need face mesh, you need this, you need that.
You need a pistol.
Yeah, you need a pistol. Yeah.
I mean, I run a pistol every freaking time.
How many times do you use it?
Twice this year.
I used to use mine every game.
Twice this year.
I think I've drawn mine like 3 times.
Well, I run 5.
Never fired.
I run 5 mags for my M4, and I got like 2 or 3 for my pistol. But I'm never running out of M4.
Yeah.
Plus, my M4 is not breaking down every second hour, so I haven't needed to pull the pistol. But when I need it, it's there.
Yep.
Try playing as a support gunner.
Yeah, you need it.
I need it.
Yeah, you need it.
I did it the last scrim actually. It was fun. Actually, and the scrim prior to. Thank you very much. I was using Tess's Crytek. How do you like that?
You know what? I don't get me wrong. I love my Crytek. It's fantastic, but I'm still not used to the fact that it has a single fire mode.
Yeah.
So out of habit, I just walk in and the first thing I do is I pull my pistol.
Click.
And if we're clearing rooms or we're going anywhere, I just run the pistol. So for me, I always run a pistol.
Well, what you got to do now is swap the pistol for a sub-jeweled SMG and keep that on your thigh. So then you got your LMG. You walk in, still full auto buggers.
I got enough guns.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've always had the
There's
mentality that when I go in to clear a building, I always go to my pistol just due to the fact that I feel an M4 is too much. Like, I wouldn't hang trim in my house with a sledgehammer. So I just go in with a pistol. It's the right tool for the job, right?
Yeah.
Well, not even that. You're more compact. You can hide around corners and stuff easier. So
I do like pistol for staircases because I got one hand for the pistol, my other hand's holding the railing, so I don't fall.
Yeah,
I don't want a concussion again. Thank you.
again.
Olympus divided. I think when Brad was on, we talked about that one. He caught me one-handed, and I was just like brain dead.
You wear a bucket though, don't you?
Not pre-game. This was after game brief, and we were going to our CPs.
So you weren't even playing yet.
No, I was wearing my my boonie hat, and I went through the hallway of death back when it had a opening in the wall. I stood up, and I just in the frame conked myself. Almost bit my tongue. That would have been bad.
That's like blowing out your knee running out the tunnel for a football game, buddy.
Right? Right? Like the same, you know what? The exact same thing. I'm basically making millions out there, man. Go Taylor Swift.
I'm just gonna mute Caleb's microphone for the rest of the episode.
But
The Swifties are gonna cancel us now.
I don't know. They might. Taylor Swift might fly her way over here.
They also got to find this podcast first.
Oh,
Yeah, we're technically
That's true. We got,
underground.
15 listeners right now, so
I checked today. It was like 10 or something. It was good.
It's not bad.
lost a few.
Yeah. Adam rallied some people when we did our first episode back. But anyhow, let's get back on topic, shall we?
That was topic.
That was topic.
That was on topic.
Adam, talk about Adam there.
That was just a little sub. It's not like you went off on a tear. So I'm talking about something different.
Well, let's
Refer to the book.
the book. What's
All right,
the book
so,
say? The great book.
So being the manager, you probably see a whole bunch of guys just doing crazy, ridiculous things. So let's talk about field etiquette.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
So
Sit
I have
back,
a rule
ladies.
of thumb. It starts when you arrive at the field. We get it with a lot, and I don't always blame new players, but experienced players as well will do this. Show up, get talking to their buddies, get hanging out, get playing with their gear. They forget to register. First game's going off, and they're wondering why we can't tell them they can't hit the field. They haven't registered. They haven't chrono. They just think it's, hey, we're showing up and we're playing.
No waiver signed.
No waiver, no nothing. First thing you need to do when you show up, before you even put your gear down, contact registration. Any field you go to registration first. They know who's on property. They make sure the waivers are signed. That's not only for your benefit, but for the field as well. Anything happens, I've seen the dumbest things happen in the safe zone. I watched a gentleman pick a gun up to show it to his buddy. What's his buddy do? Pulls the trigger.
Ay.
One left in the hop. I was actually talking to another player, and it split us. It went right in front of my eyes. He did not have a polite conversation with me after that, but barrel bags will be coming in.
Was that season opener?
Yes.
I remember being there.
Oh.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
Shame.
You fucked up.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that was
And the other
exhilarating.
part of it is it's cool that everybody brings like all their totally tricked out guns. They've got, oh, I've done this to it, I've done that, or I've got something really rare. Don't
Yeah.
just ever walk up and start picking up guys' gear. Like
No.
ask them. They're more than willing. Any airsofter is more than willing to show you a gun, and they will talk to you about that gun for days. But
I will
ask.
be rude about it when
Yeah,
I see someone pick up someone else's gun. Like,
People actually do that?
yes,
Yeah, so-
all the time.
what was that game Flavel commanded as the not the Star Wars game?
It
was back-
Sega?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that was at Wasaga.
But Flavel and I had our stuff together on a picnic table or whatever, and I'm a picnic table away talking to some other players that I'm friends with. I don't play for them, I play with them. And we're fucking hanging out or whatever. And I looked over and I see this guy eyeballing Flavel's like RPK or something like that. And I was just like, whatever. He's looking at it and he picks it up and turns and starts like, hey guys. I'm like, hey, that your gun? What? I'm like, I know for a fact it's not your gun. It's not my gun. And when he gets here, he's going to be pissed. And like, the guy just immediately puts it down. I'm like, ask first, dude. Like, it's pretty simple. I even
100%.
had that at one of the mill scrims last year or something like that. Our CP was in the farmer's field there. I had my gun down off to the side, and this kid, very clearly like day one player or something like that, he sees my gun. He sees my gun, and I don't know why I had my gun down or whatever. Maybe I was having a water break or stroke or something, but he picks it up and he does the classic, like tilts his head to a 90 degree to look down the sights. And I'm like, hey man, like,
Definitely a player.
Yeah.
like you're gonna hurt your neck doing that. What you want to do is like raise it up a little bit and bring it to your eyes. He's like, yeah, cool. Yeah. I'm like, that's my gun, by the way.
Can I have that back?
I'm like,
I'd
I'm
to
gonna need
use
it. I'm gonna need it. I'll be back at 5. Like,
So not only that, like there's a respect level as well, right? And what we've built is the community. So with the community, we got rid of the stigma of teams are teams and they're not going to talk to, oh, look, there's peasants coming to play airsoft today.
that's what I think all the time.
So what we've done is everybody has to matriculate with each other all the time.
Yeah.
So in between games, I do get, I'm very excited when I see the seasoned vets of the sport talking to the kid that it's his first week out with his new gun, and they're giving him the tips and the tricks of, hey, maybe change this or try that out. And the following week you'll see him there. He'll now have a foregrip and he'll have a decent optic, and he's not bending his neck like he's holding the phone for 4 hours, and
Oh, classic days.
yeah, exactly. We get to see a lot of that happening, so the community's really stepped up to that, and they pretty much police the safe zone for us. Everybody knows our rules. Everybody knows every safe zone should be run the same. There's no dry firing. There's no testing of anything in the safe zone. Walk it over to the range. That's why we put the range in, to eliminate these problems.
Yeah.
Make sure you're registered. Make sure your waiver's signed. Make sure all of this is dealt with before you get to chrono in a timely manner. This is what slows the day down. I will say this is one of the bigger complaints that I get. Like, people will message me that, hey, it was great on Sunday, but why was there 25 minutes in between games? Well, there was 25 minutes between games because people are on airsoft time.
Yeah.
First game went off at 11:15. Came off field, I had 40 people show up while you guys were on field. Now my refs have to be pulled from
Reffing.
game brief and getting everybody out there to, hold on, we have to chrono all these people. And luckily, most of my refs that are off duty are there playing, so I can pull them to help out at least. But that's the big one. It's chrono slows us down big. It's the late arrival slows you down. I get it. You get out of work, you have a commitment in the morning, whatever. You still want to come shoot in the afternoon. That's great.
I like how kids go to church and then shoot a bunch of people afterwards. Like when I started, that's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I was going, praise Jesus. Fuck you, kid.
Exactly. We see a lot
In
of
the
that.
same hour.
Yeah, in the same hour, exactly. But I don't have a problem with it. They're showing up. They're having a good time. Everybody. And I think, and what we've seen over the past 4 years is everybody getting along. I love it when guys come off the field and they're laughing and they're fist bumping and they're talking about great plays and, oh, this happened, or it's such a big change from years back of the teams would sort of come off just on their own, like just talking amongst themselves, and all the other players are just walking off going, well, this is stupid. Like, they're stacked and they're doing this and they're doing. So we even break the teams up. Like, I don't.
Been a victim to that one several times.
Exactly.
But also it's like, well, if there's 10 of us for easy math, 5 of us get split up. It's like, all right, cool. I'm going to hunt you now and we're going to practice.
Yep.
So good luck with that. I have Pete.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'm rare
willing,
time when shooting my teammates isn't team killing.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm willing to make adjustments on the fly as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you're coming to the field on a Sunday and the following weekend you're going to a mill sim, and you come to me and be like, hey, can we run together? Well, I'm going to compromise with you. Yeah, I'll give you a couple of games to run together, but then I'm going to have to split you apart just to even the day. Yeah. And most teams are great with that. They're like, okay, we're not that.
Well, they understand it's got to be fair.
Yeah.
And
on the field,
I also,
right?
I feel like a lot of teammates would probably enjoy that, because it's like, if Caleb and I were to play against each other, I know how he plays.
Yep.
He knows how I play.
Exactly.
So now you're trying to figure out ways to like outmaneuver each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost like you're
Watch
at a
out, kid. I work
disadvantage,
out
but
these
you're
days.
also at
I
a,
got you.
what's that?
Well,
I'll kick your ass.
Probably.
Well, and it's as simple as, if you do get split up, just, hey, meet you at boats.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Bring
if
the
you
jet boil.
if you want to practice against each other, just pick a spot to
Pick
meet
a
up
spot,
on the
yeah.
field.
The other thing too is like, we're also talking about like the walk-on games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to mill sims and doing that.
No.
These are just walk-on games. And this is the time to just, just enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Make the most of it. And if you got to get split up, you got to get split up, right? It's not a big deal.
Well, this is the question we have to answer all the time. When newer players come, first, second-year players, they don't understand what a walk-on day is. Yeah. To them,
and
it's
second
super
year players
serious.
still?
What's that?
First and second year players?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah. First, second year. I mean, I'm talking guys that aren't out every Sunday. They're, they're the casual player.
Okay. Yeah.
And they don't understand that a walk-on, like, they'll see everybody kitted out. They'll see everybody all done up, and they're like, oh, wow, this is super serious.
Yeah.
Well, to you it may be, to us it isn't.
The least serious.
It's the least serious we can possibly be.
I'll
It's a
play
walk-on
3
day.
rounds. And
Yeah, exactly.
the last walk on scrim you guys had, Porter and I are in one of the 2-story structures shooting into the berms and shit like that for a very long time. I will say, like, it was longer than I expected. I thought we'd be 10 minutes, but no. So then we get texts from our teammate Terry, be like, hey, just so you guys know, I got the pool's open, barbecue, anytime after 4. I'm looking at the clock. It's 4:01. This game goes for another hour or whatever it was.
Yep.
And I was like, Porter,
You want to go swimming?
you done? He's like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I'm like, cool. And I'm running at my 308 DMR at the time. So I then take my pistol and I shoot it in the ground until I run out of all my pistol mags. I'm like, combat ineffective. I can't run this gun with the pistol. Like, I tried, man. I don't know. Sorry, Ethan. I tried my best.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's
He won anyways. We're good.
I try to explain this, especially, when a parent says to me, like, they're dropping their kid off for the day or whatever, and they're trying to get the gist of what we do. I said, it's just like any other sport. I mean, we all have positions. We all, you got to have your forwards, your midfielders, your goalie's usually running your goalie's running the LMG in the background all the time, keeping heads down, right?
Yeah.
So that seems to click with them. If it can be relatable, people get it.
Yeah.
So on any given Sunday at the field, it should be fun. Like, you should be coming out to blow off steam, have a great time. I've never understood the guys that come out and they just have a bad attitude from the get-go, and they're just out to kick ass, take names, and why? We're there to just help everybody and have a good time.
Yeah. I remember at that scrim, I think it was like maybe 20 minutes before I shot my pistol in the air, but buddy teammate got shot up in the bushes or whatever, and it was a friendly fire, and he's like, I fucking said I was here, blah, 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 like blue on blue. And he starts storming off, and Porter and I are just like, ooh, like, that's a little spicy over there. Should I tell him to calm down? Like, and he's a good guy. So he's on comms. So I kind of go, can do to so-and-so. Yeah. I appreciate you. He's like,
Sometimes it's all
I
it takes.
appreciate you too, Caleb. I'm sorry for my outburst. And I'm like, hey!
See, that's
And I'm
all
like,
it takes.
I'm like, go sit down, drink water for 5, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, and I will say this, the outbursts and the storming off and all of that, that's really, it's backed down over the years.
It really has. Yeah.
Like, we don't see it very often. And when it does happen, I will say this, they come right to us in the safe zone. They'll come to the booth and be like, hey, this was my issue. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get both sides of the story, and we'll decide what's going to happen here.
Caleb wasn't calling his hits. No, you just weren't hitting them, man. That was probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Like, that was a couple years ago, though.
Were you even on field at that point?
I was running my AK that I had just gotten at the time, and it was shooting lasers.
Yeah.
Just stock parts and everything. Hadn't been shot in 4 years, and so just making work with it. And then I just looked over and I see some BBs landing at my feet, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna shoot this guy now. And then you come waltzing up to me. Hey, Caleb, how you doing? Oh, good. How are you? Oh, your kill light's on. I'm like, oh shoot, my bad. New setup, whatever. He's like, oh, yeah, you're fine. I got a complaint that you weren't calling your hits, though. I'm like, what? He's like, don't worry. I told him to buzz off. I'm like, okay.
Well,
like, sweet.
and that's the different part of it. As being out there as game staff,
Yeah.
I can see it differently than that player can see it.
Yeah.
So
he's,
I already
he's looking
have
through a blurry scope.
Exactly. He's looking through fogged up goggles.
Yeah.
He's shooting a tree stump for 20 minutes going, this guy's not calling a fucking thing over here.
A tree stump or a tarp.
Yeah,
tarp,
You've been shooting the same stump for 20 minutes, man. Just back down. He's taking 6 mags. Well, great. He's still not going to call it.
That's a tree.
That's a tree.
This
bud.
isn't Lord of the Rings, bro. Like,
Yeah. We get that a lot. And the other one we get a fair amount is just because you've gone out and spent a ton of money on a gun because you have adult money to abuse doesn't guarantee you hits.
Nope.
And I get that a lot. I've had players actually say it right to my face on the field. You know how much I've paid for this? I know I'm hitting the guy. I don't see how those two correlate whatsoever.
Just because you got money doesn't mean you have 1, skill.
Yep.
2, the knowledge to actually sight in your shit.
Yep.
Maybe your hop up super low and you think, oh, I'm fucking good. I'm from way over here, I'm
Yep.
getting 500 foot plus shots.
It's crazy how fast your BB can drop.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can be shooting lasers for 300 feet, but somewhere between 300 feet and 310 feet, your BB's on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
301 foot.
Yeah.
I put a new hop in a gun. It was shooting great. Everything we tested was great. Brought it to the field. It would have been awesome to use if you were in a 40-story building because that's where they were going. They came out 20 feet and went straight in the air.
Oh, my God.
I would have hit you off a balcony all day long. I wouldn't have hit you 20 feet in front of me, though.
Oh,
it
my
was
Lord.
just terrible. So, yeah, these are all things like it's great to change out parts. It's great to make all these adjustments.
Yeah.
Sometimes just run it box stock, man. Fix it when it breaks.
My
That's-
LCTAK, bone
Yep.
stock parts.
Yep.
The only upgrade on it, paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spray painted it.
Spray painted. Is that the one you do with like the shovel and
With
everything?
I used a garden shovel as my stencil.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I remember those pictures.
It's great. I was having beers with a buddy. We're talking about it. I'm like, fuck it. Let's just paint this now. It's pitch black out.
Yep.
I'm using a lamp as light, and it was good. Turned out great. People like it.
And now everybody's getting Cerakote done.
Oh yeah, no Cerakote.
I love it. I love it. I really do.
You know, good for you is I personally just really like to put my own
Yeah.
touch to it.
Yeah.
I like to, use the laundry bag, do the snake skin effect. It's old school. It works.
What I like about the homemade paint jobs is you can tell the guys that they express their interest in their paint jobs, right? Or they want that certain look or a certain color.
Yeah.
So they do the gun up in that, but they run it for a few weeks. And now I really like it. Why? Because it gets battle worn. And that spray paint starts to wear in. Now it looks authentic to me. It looks really cool when it starts to get worn in.
Mine's beyond worn in. Mine is keep it under the dirt and, and just walk away for a bit. I gotta respray it because it was definitely like because we would go to PRZ as our main Milsim event, right? All my guns were kind of gray based due to the concrete jungle it basically was.
Yeah.
So now I got to repaint everything to go for the compound and real trees and
A lot of green and a lot of dark brown.
a lot of brown, a lot of sandy browns. But
You could always paint it bright green and hide in the moss.
ooh, I mean the swamp almost took me last time. I went knee deep, but I was like, Peter. And he just walks.
busy.
He just walked away, and I was like, oh no, this is how I go. That was spooky.
I'm sure we would have found you eventually.
Yeah, like the guy in the other swamp.
Yeah.
Yeesh. What a story for that one. No, definitely don't do drugs. I definitely register. Like that's what I do when I pull in after 9:30, not before 9:30 because that's the gates are locked at 9:30.
Yes.
9:31. Help yourselves. I get in. I register. Have my coffee. Hang out with you. Talk to the staff. Whatever. Grab my gear. Go play airsoft. Etiquette. That's what you do, boys and girls.
For like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or an hour.
We haven't
whatever.
even gotten into the gameplay yet.
Well, the game doesn't start till 11.
Yeah.
Well, there
you
you
got
go.
an hour and a half or so still.
But yeah,
Yeah.
etiquette, pretty important.
Yeah.
And that's just a standard thing too. It's just on field, call your hits, don't be a dick.
Don't touch other people's
stuff, right?
guns.
And don't argue with the refs.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
I feel like it's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
That and the intentional shooting of refs. That gets out of control.
I used to sit players out for doing that.
Yeah, it's like we understand as game staff being on there. If you're in somebody's line of sight, I understand if I get hit. Some guys will tap you once. They're too far away. They don't want to give their position. They'll hit you once. And I always look over my shoulder and, oh, there you are. And I move.
Well, there's Porter again.
Yeah. So other players will be like, hey, ref, you're in my way. Move, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. But when we get slammed, I'm pulling in a lot of extra refs.
Yeah.
We start the day with 2-3 refs on the field. When our numbers jump over the 100, I'll run 5-6 refs on field. And unfortunately, my wife gets pulled out of the booth to do that. the first time she ever went out to ref,
Oh no.
my wife does not like airsoft guns. In 7 years, she just this season started touching the rental guns to hang them on the wall. She doesn't even like touching the guns. She's just not a big, nothing against guns. It's not her cup of tea.
It's a personal preference.
Yeah, it's a personal preference.
Lovely woman, but so not cool. Man.
But, you know, she went out on the field, and it was the first time we had a female ref on the field, and some guys took some liberties of, hey, we're going to teach her a lesson for being out here.
Uh-oh.
And she got shot quite a bit. She came off the field. She surprisingly was calm about it.
That's
and just
scary.
sort of brushed it off as, yeah, I knew they were going to shoot at me. I knew it was going to happen. We're like, oh, okay. So the next game brief, I sort of put it out there that, hey, you know, this is game staff you're purposely lighting up just because you feel like it.
Yeah.
Well, at a certain point, I used to run it like kindergarten, a lot of things. If you don't call your hits, we used to drag you to the safe zone, have a long chat, do all of that. I'd make you sit a game.
Slap your wrist.
Yeah. But we found out over time that doesn't work.
We should build a penalty box.
We
Box of
considered it.
shame.
So
Shame.
like I'll say in my safety brief, and I know all the guys that know me hear this every Sunday, I would find nothing better than if you don't want to call your hits, like everybody's paid the same $25 to be there.
Yep.
I can stand in my backyard and shoot shit for free. I can. I don't have to drive 40 minutes to a field to do it. I don't have to pay money to do it. I can stand in my backyard, shoot shit for free, and carry on with my day, not get frustrated over it. So when you're not calling your hits, you're disrespecting the guys that took time out of their day, spending their hard-earned money to come out and have a fun, relaxing weekend because they're probably blowing off some steam from a shitty week. And you're only aggravating that situation more by not calling anything. And then you wonder why you get the attitude. Well, you're getting the attitude because this guy came out to have fun, spend his money, and you're not holding up your end of the deal. You should be calling your hits. So we look at it on a case-by-case basis, but if you're blatantly just out there in God mode, yeah, I'll pack your shit and carry it to the car for you. It's just much easier for my day.
It's a great chauffeur service. Like I have yet to use it myself. Maybe next week I'll just I'm so tired.
And
Danny boy.
but this is
Just light up a ref. I'm carrying my stuff.
Carry my shit for me, Danny. Cheryl, come here. I'll start setting my fingers at her, see if it works well or not.
does not work well.
No. She'll punch me in the face.
But it is funny how
Don't do
trained I
that.
am.
Don't do
She
it.
can whistle out of that booth at any point, and I turn around.
Ooh, yeah. Trained dog.
Yep.
You and Magnus. Huh? Oh, man.
Is there any other points you want to touch on for that, or
No, it should cover pretty much. It's just
it's the standard stuff?
it's
but
the standard.
yeah.
Don't be an asshat. Come to the field to have a good time. Don't try and break the rules. Don't try and bend them to your advantage. There is no gray area.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's a walk-on or a milsim.
Yeah.
The rules and the etiquette is the same across the board.
Game staff have designed these games to be played in the fashion in which they were designed. If we wanted the rules to be broke or wanted you to create your own sub idea of what the game should be, it doesn't fly. It ruins the game mode. It takes the tactical advantage away from it.
Yeah.
Especially the other big one is using your buddy for a meat shield. We see it every weekend. Every weekend. Standing behind your buddy, popping shots, and it's like, what are you doing? Your buddy's eating 30 rounds to the head for what reason? If I'm your buddy, I'm just walking away from you. I'm
man.
shooting you.
Yeah. If I'm your buddy and I'm getting shot, first thing I'm going to do, well, I'm dead, so I'm just going to lay down.
Yeah.
You can't use me as a
exactly.
shield anymore.
Exactly.
Good luck using me as a meat shield when I'm on the ground taking a nap.
Now, I would be a good meat shield. But,
For
you know,
Brad. That's about it.
but yeah.
You're not the biggest guy on the team anymore, man.
No, I know I'm not. I'm just in general.
I'm trying to catch up to you, man.
All right.
One day.
You
I
do
see
that.
the Instagram posts all the time, buddy.
Oh, Cheryl is.
Yeah, I know.
Dan, did you see this photo? Dan.
Every night. Every night.
I don't know how it's every night. I only post once a week.
Oh, well, then she's scrolling, buddy.
Well,
Ooh, look at this one.
to prove it, we're going to start the Can Do Experiment calendar. It's just going to be 12 months of Can Do.
Oh, there
We're
we
going to
go.
go from fat Caleb to sort of fit Caleb back to fat Caleb. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
And somewhere in the middle at the end.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so if you want, the next thing we had, I think, was gun setups. Yeah.
Gun setup?
Well,
Yeah.
the reasoning behind.
Oh,
Yeah, so the reasoning behind
I
it.
was
So, like,
Yeah.
well, I got an optic. Like, sorry, I went stupid.
calling
for a second.
something that has an M4 base as a DMR
or an SMG
or an SMG,
Or an SMG.
something along
or
those
an
lines.
LMG.
So the reason why we have specific roles, and if you have a type of gun that's built to be that type of gun, you can't just play it as another type of gun. So take it away, Caleb.
I
'Cause
was gonna say Peter.
Okay.
all right, Pete.
So-
Peter's hot off the trot for this
So,
one.
Yeah.
Former ref of
So
Niagara
when I
Quartermaster.
first started playing airsoft, I don't know of any fields that had a full auto rule. Back 13, 12 years ago, as far as I know, the only thing that was semi-auto only was mill sims. Niagara Quartermaster, DMZ, everything else, it was like, it was kind of one of those things where, oh, you're brave, you're shooting full auto with your M4. But like, there was no rule against it.
Yeah.
And then a couple years in, when more of us started going to, Nightfall and Olympus Divided and other mill sims, there started to be suggestions for doing semi-only games. And as soon as semi-only games became the standard, all of a sudden people started bringing their LMGs out.
Yeah.
Because LMGs are allowed to shoot full auto.
Yep.
And so it's, the semi-auto rule just brings out more variety onto the field. And then there's, bolt actions, right?
Well, I have two views on full auto, and one of which is coming from a field manager aspect, not a player. It's a safety issue. You don't always know that when you run into that building with your M4, did you click over to semi?
Yeah.
And you are now close quarter. You're 5-6 feet away from somebody, and you dump 30 rounds into them.
By accident.
Yeah, by accident. You honestly didn't mean to do it. You feel a little dirty about it afterwards. And that guy on the other end is like, well, this is stupid. I don't want to do this anymore. We were losing a lot of that new blood into the sport because guys were like, this is stupid. Why do you want to go out and mag dump on everybody and just try and hurt people for fun? Like this is twisted. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, when douchebag players are just being dangerous and reckless.
From a
It's not
player
cool.
point, I still agree with it. I really do. I think it's because I'm more tailored towards the realism of what we do.
Yep.
Real world scenario. It's great what you see in movies. These guys have prop designers off to the side that are dumping them endless blanks to shoot. So yeah, they can go full auto all day long. But real world scenario, you have 6 mags on you. If you're in the shit, you're not shooting full auto, dumping 5 mags going, oh, I'm down to my last 30 rounds, guys, because I was an idiot. You're just not doing that. So the realism aspect comes out, and it brought back the LMG roll.
Yeah.
That LMG roll is huge now.
Yeah.
Because guys are like, hey, if I want to shoot full auto, I need an LMG on the field.
A big, heavy gun.
A big, heavy gun that is... You're not even aiming at people. It's to keep heads down, keep them behind bunkers, keep them out of windows so your guys can move up. You have a role to play that role.
Yeah.
Battle rifle was never designed for that aspect. Battle rifle was designed for the door knocker guy. It's you're running in, you're kicking in the door, you're shooting 70 feet away. Awesome.
Yep.
And then that's where, so then we fall into the DMR, and a lot of people are very cloudy on what a DMR is.
So I have an opinion on that.
Oh.
Having owned several, a lot of players want to make their M16 a DMR.
Yes.
Or their M4.
Yes.
Or whatever, right?
I have an M6.
My view on that is you already have the perfect platform. The M4 is the perfect platform, realistically.
Yes.
Right? It's light, it's easy to use, everybody has M4 mags.
Good range.
You don't need any more advantages. people who run an M14, a G3, a PSG1, whatever, right? Like
SR.
it's not a bolt action, but it's a long, heavy, awkward, shitty gun to run for a game. And why would I run that if I can run an M4 that's 5 pounds lighter?
Yes.
Right? There's no reason for me to bring that to a field, so why would I? As soon as you bring a DMR roll, well, now I can shoot farther. I can shoot harder. There's an advantage there that brings me over, Joe Blow with his M4. Well, and that brings out all those other weird guns that people have had hanging on their walls for 5 years.
Yes. And where it gets confusing is just because you've taken your M4 and you've mounted a monster scope on it does not make it a DMR.
Nope.
And this is something most fields encounter. I've talked to several, and we all go through the same thing at Chrono. Great, you put a long barrel, you put a big stock, you've got a huge optic. You're not a DMR shooting 5.56. You need to be 7.62.
Yep.
You need to be a 20-inch barrel. You need to be a 16-inch handguard. That is what classifies a DMR. And to show up just because you've put the long barrel on your 5.56 M4 does not make it a DMR.
Cool. You have a long battle rifle.
Yes, exactly.
Really awkward.
I'm going to see 18 inches of barrel before I get to shoot you. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's all it does. And the other aspect of this is running LMG or running DMR, you have to have a sidearm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that sidearm goes, everybody's like, well, now you're forcing me to buy a pistol. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Go out and buy a $9 rubber knife. That's a sidearm.
Yeah.
You can silent kill somebody.
Or a Canadian Tire pistol.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little
as I've done
Springer.
before.
Yeah. You don't have to go and drop a ton of money to have a sidearm on you.
I've seen a ton of guys run around with the clear soft guns.
Yep.
And you know what? Some of them are really good with them.
Exactly.
And it's great.
I got a kill with one at one of the mill scrims years ago.
Yeah.
And
If you can make it
the
work,
guy was
and it
ashamed.
shoots.
100%. But and everybody's like, well, why do I have to have a sidearm? Well, you have to have a sidearm because that takes the temptation away of if you want to help your buddies out and clear a room or go into a building, you now set your larger gun down or shoulder it and go on in.
Well, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like when I run LMG, I always have my pistol with me, right? It's the same exact thing. There's a reason, and it is a safety thing, right?
Yes.
Because God forbid, my stoner.
Yeah.
Imagine me going into a building with that thing
Oh my god.
and just lighting someone up from like 20 feet away.
As awesome as it would be, that would also be bad.
Yes, it would be terrible. Not only would they'd be hurt because they'd be lit up like 30 times within like, I don't know,
Second or two, yeah.
a couple seconds. But now you're going to be deaf because that thing was loud as shit.
It is so loud.
But it just comes down to it's a safety factor. It's like there's rules in play for specific gun types and how you're supposed to run that gun. So why would we not, adhere? Like, well, maybe not adhere. Maybe that's not the best word, but we have to honor and respect the rules put in place by the fields and the game hosts and the event coordinators and all that stuff because they're there for a reason,
Yeah.
right? So
Also, a lot of these rules have been evolving over the years. Like I said, like with full auto, right? Like every field did full auto when I first started. And now I don't know of any fields that do.
I have no
Like,
idea.
well, the other big
full
one
on
that
with
I can think
M4s.
of is at Blackcell games. If you want to run a bolt action, you need base,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because you need to know your proper distances because you're using a heavier BB.
Yep.
You're allowed to shoot further. But if they're within a certain range, well, guess what? Your bolt action it's useless.
And
you
it's,
need to pull
it's
your
also
sidearm, right?
it's also so that they know that you're
competent
that you
enough.
know what 75 feet is.
Yeah.
And then if you don't respect that, they'll just pull your base and you won't be allowed to run your bolt action.
But that's exactly the
Or-
point I was
or-
trying to
or
make.
DMR.
Right? It's, you have to
Yeah,
be
or
respectful
DMR.
of the
Gotta say
rules.
that.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason. So if you guys have crazy guns and you want to run something different, hey, you know what? Talk to your field manager. Say, hey, what are the rules around this specific type of gun?
There you go.
And then, go from there.
And,
Now we're
and
cooking.
that's the thing. We even entertain like there are some guns out there that we haven't seen in years that guys show up with. And I'm like, okay, if I'm not familiar with that gun, I can turn to any number of veteran players we have and be like, hey, can you give me a little heads up on this? Like, you guys have seen this around.
What the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
Is this homemade? No,
Either
no,
that
it's
or,
not.
I haven't seen this since
This is made with 3D print and paper clips.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, and that's the
that
other
guy.
that's the other thing right now. The 3D printed guns
Yeah.
are changing the game a little. Guys are getting a little more inventive and creative and being able to 3D print different options. That being said,
yeah.
anything homemade you bring to any airsoft field, game staff is going to go through that gun 90 times at chrono just to guarantee it's going to be safe. That being said, we have a gentleman that comes to our field that he has 3D printed 2 guns, one of which is just, it is gorgeous. It is so cool. The innovations behind it, it's HPA'd, it's the way it's done up. It's just, I think, I'm surprised nobody has stolen these ideas and manufactured it, to be honest. Like, he's sitting on a gold mine, to be honest. But it's a really cool gun. Now, granted, the first, I don't know, couple of months he brought it out, there were some bugs to work out, and he worked them out. But he's also come up with some really cool ideas grenade-wise.
Good to know.
I saw, well, no, what I thought was really cool about it is he has a grenade that is very similar to the old Bang 22s, and he demoed it for me, and he doesn't have them up and running yet, but he just brought his prototype to see what we thought. He pulled it, threw it like you'd always throw a Bang 22, and I stood there, and I'm like, that was a dud, until he pulled the remote clicker out and went, bang.
What?
He can remote detonate it.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
And I'm like, this is a game changer.
I want
That's
5.
so cool.
I'm like,
I
this
want
is a game
5.
changer.
It's
I want
basically
5 right
Claymore
now.
at that point.
At that point, but it's just a sound grenade. But I'm like, how dirty would that be if, okay, you're in a building, you set that,
Hell yeah.
you get hit, you're out. You walk away.
Oh,
You
shit.
respawn back in. Your grenade's still sitting there. Bang. Clear the room. I'm loving this thing.
Yeah.
You see someone pick it up, it's like, good.
Yeah.
Better yet, someone picks it up and pockets it.
Say it all. And then he's
They
going to
start
find.
running away, and then he hits it.
Oh, yeah.
that would be
That'd be great
better.
to find.
And there goes the rule. Don't be a dick.
Going-
Don't steal shit.
Yeah.
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 Don't steal anyone's shit.
I will
right,
give the
Pete?
community this. Our lost and found is overflowing some weekends. Guys are tremendous at bringing stuff back. Everything from the smallest parts. It's ridiculous. A lens
Yeah.
protector. Guy will be like, here, I found this on the field. I'm like,
Cool.
No
okay,
one's coming
great.
back
Throw
for
it in the
this,
gray
but
bucket.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've got like the amount of pistol mags that we amassed by the end of the season it's crazy. And I'm just like, guys, how do you walk off the field and be like, oh, I lost it? Well, great. Come check the lost and found. Every field has one.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
run them for a reason.
Which is a great idea to label your stuff.
Label everything.
I should
Well,
probably
hell,
do that someday.
I've even gone up to, I don't know, I remember if it was you or Cheryl. I was just like, any chance you guys got AK mags in that box? I want to try a D-Day mag, and I want to buy one just to see if it doesn't work.
Exactly.
They're like, yeah, here. I'm like, perfect. It still has BBs in it. Let's go.
I got an assortment of everything, man. But the one that gets me
I brought it
is
back afterwards. It didn't work for me.
people leave boots. People leave coats.
Oh, my Lord.
Just some of the weirdest things to just, and I'm not talking like, okay, you beat the soles fell out of your boots for the day and you're like, well,
Yeah.
no, I'm just going to leave them here. They'll throw them out. No, I'm talking brand new, like bought them to come to the field and just left them. Have never been back for them.
Oh, you're like, oh my God, it's going to feel so good to take these
uh,
off.
Yeah.
Put your
what's-
flip-flops on, immediately forget your boots.
What size boot we talking here?
I don't know. I'm tired of transport. No.
But yeah.
I actually just got a pair of Sportivas.
Oh yeah, how are those going?
Dude, amazing.
I got to go get new boots, speaking of which.
Sportivas. So go to talk to Ruby or whatever his name is.
Rudy.
Ruben.
I thought it was.
Ruben?
No,
or
it is
Ruby?
Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben.
Yeah, it is.
Go to
Ruben.
him. Go. I want the Christian Craighead boots, Sportivas. He'll size you up. You don't even have to try them on. Just buy them.
For those of you who don't know Rudy, he works at Outdoors Oriented in St.
Yes.
Catharines.
Yes. I forgot what the store was called. I was like, Rudy.
It's the one with the kayaks out front.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I love going in there for the backcountry stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walked in there and I was looking for a pair of Merrill boots to replace my Solomon's with. And he's like, what are you looking for? Tell him. Why? Oh, airsoft. Also hiking and backpacking, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, all right, I personally wouldn't go Merrill, honestly, but I'll show you it because that's what you came for. I do suggest these 3 other boots as well. I'm like, oh, I like this guy. Shows me the Merrills. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they're not really quite what I thought. And he's like, what fit are you wanting for your boot? And I said, wide toe, like really wide toe. He's like, okay, these ones are my absolute favorite. Tells me why. Christian Craighead wore them when he did his fucking badass shit he does.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's already a selling point, man. And yeah, I try them on. I'm walking around the store. I'm like, these are pretty fucking sick. And he's like, wear them in the house, 30 days warranty, whatever, kind of to return. So he's like, don't get them dirty and you're fine. I went and played airsoft the next fucking day. And I wear them every single chance I get.
Of course they didn't get dirty.
Of course they didn't get dirty. Well, I wore them at the compound for Narco. And
they got dirty then.
Oh, they got dirty. I wore them all Saturday, and then it was nighttime. We're eating, having beers or whatever, and I go to change out my socks and stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't really want to wear my sandals or whatever because mosquitoes. So the only other shoes that I had were my boots. I put them back on. I'm very comfortable. Like I didn't not want to wear them.
Well, and that's the other thing, being properly equipped for what we do.
Yeah.
Makes your day a lot better.
Double tie your knots, boys.
Yeah.
Because my boots almost got lost in the swamp. like
There's a lot of boots in our swamp. a lot.
Well,
can only
between
imagine.
home field and the compound, they're both swamps. So like I went knee deep at Narco and I tried getting out and I could feel it really holding on to my boot. I'm like, oh Lord.
And I'm
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Nice.
I've been waiting for this a long time. Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
What was that game, that one offshoot Blackcell game where they did a redo and it was like
Dark Zone.
Oh, Dark Zone.
Dark Zone, but it wasn't at PRZ. It
No, it was in Rockville.
Rockville, yes.
Rockville,
Thank you.
Dark
That was a
Zone.
fantastic game.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone else says. I had
That
a
was
blast.
fan-fucking-tastic. It was a great game.
it was great. It was a
People
lot of fun.
bitched and
Cold,
complained too much.
but
It
it was
wasn't
fun.
even that cold. It was just wet.
Well, it was cold because it was wet.
Yeah.
I got
Now,
soaking
I
wet
was
waist
okay.
down
Don't play in running shoes.
and
So,
sweatpants.
Speaking of which, that day we did like a field walk and I was like, man, this place is soaked. I went to Walmart and I bought insulated rubber boots,
Yep.
which I still have to this
Yep.
day.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't even care. I can't run in these, but I'm an LMG anyways.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just
Yep.
going to just casually
be
saunter
warm
up
and
the
dry.
field. Yep.
I got within 2 inches of being too deep with those boots.
Oh,
Just to give people an idea of how much water there was in some areas of that field.
Yeah.
well, I had those SWAT boots originally.
Yeah, they're not waterproof.
No, I
Oh.
had them for 8 years at the time or something like that. I stepped in a short puddle like 2 inches deep, and all of a sudden the inside of my foot was
Well, they're waterproof as
I was
long
like,
as you
oh.
don't step in
water. Yeah, that's
But
cool.
what's nice about them, they do have a valve on the side that once they are full of water, when you walk, it does squirt out the
Yeah.
side.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah, it releases the water out, so they do dry out quite quick.
Yeah.
Caleb didn't know that.
Didn't know that because
Yeah.
my feet were wet.
Would have come in handy.
They were
at some-
wet the
so
entire
many
time,
times.
but they were fairly insulated boots
Yeah.
for being non-winter boots. And then the socks I wore were like a merino steel wool,
Steel
Probably
wool.
not
Steel
steel wool.
copper fibers. and
Merino
stuff.
wool, yeah.
Merino wool with
Merino
copper
wool?
fiber in it.
Yeah.
So it created a little heat while you wore them, thank God.
I still got my sealskin socks.
And I have yet to
I've
buy a
heard
pair
good
of
things
them.
about
They're-
those. I've yet
I've-
to try them.
So,
So,
have I, but they're
Brad
damn
goes,
expensive.
They're
Brad
expensive.
goes on and
Yeah.
on about those things.
They're super warm,
Yeah,
but they don't breathe very well.
yeah,
But your feet will stay dry.
yeah.
Except for when you sweat and then they get wet.
Well, then yeah, but you know,
We have a gentleman who puts on his
Wear wool socks.
scuba diving
Yeah,
neoprene
wool socks.
socks. Same thing you put on before you put your foot into a
Yeah,
flipper.
yeah, yeah.
He wears those in his boots because his boots aren't waterproof. He's like, and my feet stay nice and dry. And I'm like, I don't get that because that's not a waterproof material. He's like, well, it works though. So
It's water
Hey, man,
repellent.
if it
it's
works, it
water
works.
repellent, I would assume. But yeah.
But like if I wore non-waterproof boots, then I would go, you know what, sealskin socks or whatever makes sense. Otherwise, I just wear wool socks, so that way I just I don't get like a foot fungus thing.
Now,
going.
this is really only if you're playing in an area that's just a swamp,
yeah.
right? If you're playing in a field, you know it's dry. Obviously, you don't got to do any of this, but
Well, I wear the same boots, dry, indoor, wet, whatever,
fair.
and I wear the same socks, so that way my feet are in the same conditions at all times. That's nothing new or exciting for me.
Yeah, when I'm buying new boots, they're my airsoft boots. They're not like my
Yeah.
dry boots or my wet boots. They're my airsoft
Like
boots. I'm wearing
my
them every day.
Sportivas are my airsoft, my camping, my hiking,
Yep.
my getting groceries, hanging out at the fire. Like they've become my every shoe.
That comfy, eh?
Dude,
All right, I'm gonna
How
have to
much
go
were
check it out.
dude, on sale they were like $200
Oh, that ain't bad.
Good to know.
on sale.
Good to know. I'm still rocking my
Talk to-
Swats that I won at Nightfall 7. So
God damn, Pete, change them out.
I have to get new boots for airsoft because the last pair that I had, they were like Under Armour hiking boots, and
Oh yeah. You and Nooch got those, didn't you?
I got those before Nooch was even around.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay, been a while.
and yeah, I used to wear them back and forth through the airport for
yeah,
the whole time I've
Yeah.
been going to work, and I finally retired them, and I'm like, I need new boots now. So
Sportivas,
how's the ankle support?
fantastic. They're 6-inch.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect. And on that note,
What else you got for me in the great book?
nothing really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
got through
Now
the
we can
whole
just
thing.
chit chat.
Oh, beauty.
Nice.
Okay.
We can talk about the best thing that happened in the Acolyte season 1.
It's
That is, it was so bad. There's no season 2.
I apologize for that outburst. Sorry for flying off the handle, guys.
Wow.
have you seen it?
Turns out
No.
they only have the
Dude,
power
I don't
of
have
one
time for
season.
TV.
If you want to be emotionally unstable, go watch it.
Don't
Yeah.
watch it.
You will want to
Don't-
die.
Don't watch it.
Do you like Star Wars?
No.
Okay, so you might enjoy it.
Yeah.
As you're looking at two people with Star Wars tattoos.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't like Star Wars, you might enjoy it because you can disconnect and you don't know all the backstory lore, right? So in that sense, you might be like, oh, this is kind of interesting. But
Halfway through the season, I was hoping that everybody would just get killed and they would end it at like episode 4 or whatever episode I was on. I was so done with that show.
so I got to the end of it, and if they had rearranged how they told the story, it could have been actually
Oh, yeah.
really good. But the way they went about doing it was just like, I'd rather go to the dentist and just have him drill a hole through my front tooth without numbing anything. Because I think this is, come on.
a couple of those episodes, like, you know those meetings at work where when you're walking out, you're thinking like, man,
That could have been an email? Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of those episodes could have been an email.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I just want everyone to know Caleb is peeing.
Caleb is peeing.
That's why he's so
think the
quiet right
microphone's
now.
gonna Pick it up.
Hey, I didn't hear the flush. That's pretty good. Oh, he's still going.
No,
That's
he's
why.
still going.
It's very like a tranquil waterfall, right?
Oh yeah, it's great. It's like a babbling brook in my basement.
exactly.
Let's
Hey, yeah, he's still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, no,
over there.
is like as far as the field goes this season and moving forward, there will be additions being made. We have plans for next season. The big question always is what's going on with the back end of the field. A lot of players don't get to see it.
slums.
Yes, slums. Everything like you guys played the field years back. There was
It
relay.
used to be a whole bunch of really shitty little, I don't even know what you'd call them, shacks.
Yeah, there were little shacks built back there. Relay was a big transitional area.
okay. Truth be told, back when I was there every weekend, I never exactly knew where slums was because it's like Is it so run down that this is why it's
Yes.
called slums,
Yes.
or is it?
Yes.
Or am I missing something?
So
Like,
slums is now changing. So the castle wall is still up.
okay.
And looks perfect. With the addition of what we've renamed the sniper towers into guard towers. We will be adding the addition of a almost prison camp feel in the center where you will be taken prisoner.
Oh,
Perfect for you,
I'm
Caleb.
sorry. Repeat that for me.
Yes,
you can listen to
Caleb is gonna have a camp to guard.
Yeah, slums will be renamed the POW camp. That if you look at the new field map at the field, it is already renamed that, and everybody wondered what we were doing. So we are adding.
You know what's the worst part? Because I've been going to Quartermaster for so long. I've been there while it's evolving. I haven't looked at an updated map since 2016, 17.
Well, this year we came out with all our new kill rags with the field map on it.
Gotta get one of those.
Pick
They
one of
look-
those up.
They look good. Cheryl, where is it?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to rebrand the field a little bit with, we have field swag available now.
Yeah.
So what we've noticed was guys were coming to the field with shirts from other either stores, fields, events, and we're like, well, hey, well, why? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I definitely
It's
had
funny.
your mic muted.
It's funny. I get noticed in
Did
that
you?
shirt.
Yeah.
Was I still muted that whole time?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. We have
No,
cool
I
t-shirts.
unmuted you, but then I remuted you to crack the beer open.
Oh, that's fair. Did it again. Yeah, we have t-shirts, so if anyone wants to buy one, let me know.
They're really comfy.
They're good for running errands.
Yeah, running errands. Whatever you need more vape juice.
My buddy's like, yeah, this guy, he came to the store and he looked like he owned the field or something. And I'm thinking to myself, is it Brucey? Because like he looks older than he is due to the facial hair and
Yeah.
no hair. And I fucking love the kid, but like he looks older than he is.
he does.
And I was like, well, maybe it was Dan. I don't know. And then, because last I checked, the previous store he worked at was a weed distillery. So I was like, I don't think anyone's buying weed. but I don't know.
Dispensary?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He likes his
Wine
weed
country.
distilled.
What's that? Gosh.
I just want to get a little high. just a wee bit.
I like the oaky notes.
I like the blueberry flavored weed for the blueberry flavor,
Yeah.
not the actual weed.
Yeah, not
part.
the actual weed.
I smoke for the flavor. I like that skunk taste.
So yeah, no, we are changing the back end of the field. I am currently searching for some props as well. I do have,
What kind of props?
I have a lead right now on a small airplane. That would enhance downed pilot quite a bit.
I know a guy that landed on the 407. He could probably land it right there for you.
I know him too.
Oh, I could land one. I'm just not getting out of it.
But yeah, the back end of the field is almost, we use it on scrims,
Yeah.
and that's the extent because
I miss playing back there.
Yeah, walk-on days is tough because without the designation, there's a lot of trails back there.
Yeah.
And we're keeping them up, but a lot of guys don't seem to realize how big 55 acres really is.
There's a lot of
There's a
space
lot
back
of
there.
space on our
Like
field.
Quartermaster is a surprisingly big field.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Like,
Yes. So we're 55 acres with just shy of 30 some buildings right now.
Well, and, like even another example, a lot of people, I don't think they know what Deepwoods is.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no,
Right?
they don't.
between
Everyone-
Sats and
Whenever
Slum.
they spawn at Deepwoods, they spawn at like the
The road.
entrance to the trail
Yeah.
to Deepwoods.
To Deepwoods, yeah.
So
oh, this is deep, right? No.
So what's nice about
Going
deep
another 300
woods?
feet.
So a lot of people really
It's like
you
talking to your
said,
ex.
Pete, don't know. Wow, that's deep, right?
That's deep, right? Oh, no, honey.
I wouldn't know, but a whole bunch of other dudes would.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
That was a perfect slip.
So, but with deep woods, what I've noticed, because even myself running the field for all these years, I've been told, okay, deep woods is this spot on the map, and I can walk to it, and then I stand there and I go, I'm not seeing it. So it's really an undeveloped area. It was
Yeah.
more or less just used for CPs or starting points.
Which makes sense.
But if you're at the field and you want to find it, you walk out behind Sats and you follow that trail. And just as you make the bend, you'll see a machine gun bunker.
to your left.
Yeah, to your left. And that behind that machine gun bunker is where Deepwoods is. It goes back about 300 yards.
Yeah.
But it has flooded itself out a little to our advantage. So we have a bunch of little islands in there.
Ooh.
So my plan now is to put up 8x8 buildings, and I want a network of bridges connecting them all.
Oh, that would be so sick.
So this will be more or less a Vietnam-style village play.
All right, I'm going to say this now before anyone else. No homemade pyro
Yes.
in the Vietnam style.
I don't know, man. There's people today still being told no homemade pyros. Like,
Yeah.
It's still a rule that people have to say at every
Yep.
event.
I don't know.
I'm assuming walk-on.
I don't know if we've said it on here yet, but also don't do the grenade in a soup can.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't.
We
Why you giving? Why even say it?
we
Because
did
we
it.
did it.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it. It was bad. Yeah, it was.
It's okay. I think it went off on our own people. So and
Well,
maybe game control.
Mitch Sabrin set it
Yeah.
up, set the first one off,
Wow.
and then because we for 13 hours, our base was the pavilion of PRZ, and we're like, well, to keep people out, there's only 2 entrances, so soup can bomb 1, soup can bomb 2.
Pull
Easy
the pin
peasy.
on the grenade, and
We had a-
Yep.
the can keeps the spoon on, and
Yeah,
as soon
yeah,
as you walk through the fishing wire, it pulls the grenade out of the can, and
The
it
goal
goes
was
off.
out of the can.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Turkish even took the, he grabbed some ash from our fire pit, put in some water, and dyed the white string he had
Oh,
to
nice.
like a charcoal gray, so it was hard to see. Like, this guy,
He's going SEAL Team 6 out there.
I know. I think
Turkish
he's,
was the best.
think
Oh, I love playing.
He did a
this.
lot of
awesome.
planning for that game.
did he serve in the
I
British
don't know.
Army or something?
I don't.
I feel like he did. And he probably just doesn't say anything.
Hold on.
We'll go
I'll
with
find out
that.
right now. Is he online?
Maybe. Anyhow, so he did that. We set all this stuff up, sticks to keep the cans from moving, all sorts of shit. And while we were all off field to have lunch, we just hear a boom. We're like, oh, that sounded close. I think that was the pavilion. That's Sabrin. What's he doing in our base?
That's funny.
And like, because like we all decided at the same time, we're like, guys, we're hungry. We're here for fun. Let's just lock up the place and go. And then, then Turk went to pull off the other one because he's like, I don't know where the pin is, so may as well just set it off. So he kicks the string to set it up, to let it go, and it did not leave the can fully when it
Yeah.
exploded, and it was just like it just bellowed out
Yeah.
the can. No one got hurt. Don't do it.
Yeah.
The grenade is designed to be thrown, and that's it. Yeah.
Ooh, if I come out this weekend, I can bring my big box of grenades.
Oh,
What kind of grenades?
All kinds of grenades.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk to the field manager to make sure they're still safe.
Yeah.
They're older. They're not there's nothing new in there, but
Yeah. Tag 67's absolutely not.
no.
Yeah, those are crazy.
Yeah, they're a little crazy.
I have tag rounds, but I'm not gonna bring them. Fuck.
So I will say with the addition of sound and frag and all of that, a lot of guys don't carry grenades. Like your normal walk-on guys on Sundays don't carry a lot of grenades, or if they do, they carry springers. And springers are perfectly adequate. They do the
Oh,
job.
yeah.
They do exactly what you
Absolutely.
want
Then
it
you
to
get
do.
Wade.
Most of my stuff
He's
is
like, I got a
sound and
grenade for
smoke.
someone. I'm like, okay.
No smoke at our field.
Oh.
There is
No
no,
smoke allowed.
smoke allowed at our field.
Yeah,
that's
you've been gone
changed.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
So that more or less fell on an incident that had happened that had nothing to do with our field, but was in close proximity to the property. And it's not our rule. It is the landowner's rule that we are not allowed to throw smoke anymore. It's just the rule of thumb: where there's smoke, there's fire, and
Well, you get too many guys in the same spot vaping, they're going to start thinking it's
Oh my God.
Jesus. It's a smoke grenade. Good job, Eric. Proud of you.
Sorry.
Jesus, son. How many?
What
how
a
many?
ringtone.
It's the Mandalorian.
May as well be Mario 64 falling off an edge.
So I asked Turk on Discord, and Keanu responded. He said he served a lot of food.
So he's basically Steven Seagal at this point.
So, interesting story with Turkish. He attended one of our scrims, and I happened to be commanding that day, and he was very serious, game face on.
Yeah.
Oh, man, when he's in it, he's in it.
He was in it, and he literally scared the casual player into, oh Lord, we've just enlisted. He took them out on the field. They were asked to hold Bravo for me.
Oh, yeah.
We had key cards in play, and you had to find all 3 key cards, and you could not bring them back to your CP until you had all 3 of them. So that kept them in play on the field. So if you had 2 key cards and got shot and the other team stole them, well, guess what? If they had the other, they just racked all 3. So they were holding at Bravo. I radioed to him because I knew he had key cards. And I said, listen, we're going to evacuate Bravo. We're going to let them take it. I wanted a different objective. And he just simply came back and said, well, we have key cards and we'd like to come off. Okay. He says, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Okay. Didn't know what that meant, but he came off the field. He was standing in front of me at CP. They were just taking a little break. They were regrouping. And I said, hey, by the way, what's up with the key cards? He says, we dug a hole and buried them. I'm like, okay, that's a different route, but that works.
Yeah.
He's like, I know right where they are. I can tell you right where they are. So if you send anybody there, they can grab them. Well, in the meantime, we had grabbed the other key card.
Perfect.
So we relayed over the radio where they were. They went, uncovered them, grabbed them. It worked out perfect.
Nice.
But most players would not think to think out of the box, right?
Yep.
They'd be like, okay, I got to hang it back on the nail it was on and I got to leave, right? Nope. No. Nowhere in the rule set did it say you couldn't hide them.
Yeah.
You were still in possession of them.
That guy,
it was very smart play.
He is an awesome player, a super, super sweet guy.
Yep.
Like I was fortunate enough to go to his wedding 2 years ago now or something like that. And his wife is lovely, great lady. But yeah, just a very
He's just a great guy.
A very nice guy.
Just a very warm individual. And then you step on the field, it's like, oh my God.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
Like I remember Joel Yeager being a newer player. He like him and I were playing together. I'm showing him some ropes or whatever. And he's like, man, like when we're like in the field or doing this and that, you're very like, ha ha ha, whatever kind of guy. And the moment it's like game on, it's like a light switch and you're just in the zone. And I'm like, wow, we're playing the game, but like also I farted. Ha ha. Like, you know, Turk is like, nah, like,
No.
like,
Yeah.
we're in it. And
The,
then
the hardest
until
I've
the game
ever
is done.
played was at PRZ, and we were squatted up with him just through
You poor
moving
thing.
it through the field. We ended up with them, and his call-outs, his command, his just that squad lead that he had was incredible. Like you did not want to disappoint him. Like you stepped your game up, and everybody played better around him.
it is awesome when you are just like as an individual or a small group and you just somehow morph with another team that is just clearly on the next level of playing, and you can just learn from, pick up from, you know, just really absorb as much of whatever it is that they're doing while in game.
Well, speaking of teams,
What's up?
no, I just, in conjunction with the field, I know a lot of people seem to think because the Marines are always there every Sunday.
Well, there's like 53 or something like that of them, so it's kind of hard for them to not be there.
There is 15 of us.
Only.
Only 15 of us. But what what everybody sort of has to realize is everybody refers us as the field team.
Yeah.
We are not the field team. It just so happens that the owner is on our team, yes. But 90% of our team, 95% of our team are also your refs. These are the guys that are voluntold beginning of every season, you're going to be reffing. That's what gives me having 12 to 15 refs on roster.
Yeah.
Be able to supply enough refs for the scrims that we do when we have to bring in more refs, the events we do. These guys work nonstop behind the scenes. I guess I take it a little to heart when people have a complaint about the field and don't bring it to us and just sort of air it like dirty laundry a little bit.
Like
social
post it online or
media.
something.
Post something online, or it just travels.
Google
like
reviews.
The community is quite large, but it's very small when it comes to bad news or a dirty rumor. It seems to spread quick. And what I found is nobody seems to grasp the amount of work, time, effort that goes into making this place available every Sunday for people to come to. My whole family's involved. Both my sons ref. Both my sons have to be at the field for every build I do. They get voluntold to be there. My wife is there for absolutely everything. Runs the booth every Sunday.
Yeah.
My oldest, his girlfriend's in the booth. That's the other, Sienna is the other one you'll meet on Sundays.
She's nice unless you make a joke. Then she looks at you funny and I go, I thought it was funny. My wife laughs at these jokes.
She's very serious. Makes a great banana bread.
Oh my God, she does.
Killer banana bread.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
So it's the amount of time and effort that's put into this that everybody sort of doesn't realize. These fields don't exist. Clarington, like I've been talking to Matt quite a bit up at Clarington, and we had a long chat up at Icebreaker, and it's almost disrespectful at times, like for players to show up and they'll trash the field right to your face. Be like, well,
or
hey,
or
I was
literally put garbage everywhere.
Like
Not picking up after themselves.
Yeah, we look at it as, well, hold on here. This is, I don't do this for fun. I do it because everybody said to me, well, you're working a normal job, but yet you're out here 3, 4, 5 nights a week. You're out here on weekends doing it. Why do you do it? Well, I do it so everybody has a place to come on Sundays, because fields are disappearing. We've lost a lot of fields. COVID did not fare well.
Yep.
And it wasn't due to lack of players wanting those fields to stay. It was a lack of financially, is it viable to keep renting the land? Is it viable when you've got a developer knocking on your door saying, hey, I'll pay you 10 times what you make in 5 seasons. Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's a no-brainer at that point, right?
Like, oh, that's money now.
Yeah. So as far as like the teams go and everybody showing up, we do get support. Like, I know, like Pete, you came out and helped us this winter, and we had, his name's escaping me at the moment.
Caleb.
Caleb was there as well. Yes, Caleb was there quite a bit.
I was like, I built stuff.
I know you were there.
Fuck?
Terry came out.
Terry.
At least once, I think.
Yeah, because
So-
you guys did the
so you guys-
bush cleanup.
Yeah.
Like, and we used to open it up to the public.
Yeah.
In the spring, we'd always do a field cleanup day, and we'd post it out there, and it'd be on social media, and people would be like, yeah, we'll come and help, and we'd do a
And then
big
they
sign
don't.
up. And no, it worked out well, but it's one thing to show up and work. It's another thing to show up just to sort of scope the field and walk around.
Yeah.
And then it's another thing to have a bunch of people show up that you have no idea who they are. They do not look like they play airsoft whatsoever. They're there to help, and then 3 days later you find the huge hole cut in the side of your booth, and they tried to steal stuff, but there's nothing there. We take it all away every Sunday. There's nothing at it.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I think everybody's gotten it with, like, they see the trailer back in, we load it up at the end of the day, and we leave.
Yeah.
Everything goes with us.
That big green trailer. it's empty.
Yeah, it's
Fun
empty.
fact, there's nothing to steal.
Everything is empty, and we do
You're
that on
just
purpose.
being a jackass at that point.
And the addition of the cameras has really helped. It gives, like, a lot of guys, you show up, you're leaving all your gear, you're leaving sometimes thousands of dollars laying on a picnic table while you're out on the field for an hour.
Yep.
Oh, you know, guys have second thoughts about that going, oh, I just left $3,000 worth of stuff laying on a picnic table. So we went a step further. We went ahead and installed data cams everywhere in the safe zone. So when you're in our safe zone, you're under anywhere between 6 and roughly 8 cameras that all have a good shot of you. The whole parking lot's covered, and we have them at all the field entry points and certain key spots on the field. And the reason we did that was, 1, security, but 2, if anything does go wrong, something goes missing, those cameras are live all day. I can pull it up on my phone. I can watch the video. We've, knock on wood, we haven't had incident at all where we've had anything taken or anything of the sort, but we've had a couple of weird unicorn incidents out in the parking lot that were unrelated to safe zone or even field play, but those cameras helped out immense on those. Because we were able to take a look at all that footage and be like, okay, this is what really went on.
Yeah.
There were 2 sides to every story, and then there was the truth.
There's the video evidence.
Can't really go against the video evidence. It's
You,
right
sir,
there.
did not call your hits.
So with all that hard work, and you know that I know that the community probably appreciates the hell out of, even if they don't always show it. But
Thank you, Dan.
thank you so much. First of all.
No, the community steps up. Every charity event we do, they step up huge.
Okay.
Every function we put on, they step up huge.
What are you guys putting up in October?
October 5th.
Hey,
October 5th, the 13th
I was leading into
annual,
that.
the 13th annual zombie game. Yeah.
Woo!
Bigger and better. Last year we locked the gate at 225 players.
It was awesome.
We actually had to turn almost 40 players away that night.
Oh, can you let more in?
So this year I'm keeping to 225, but I will be expanding a little bit on game night for walk-ups. Parking becomes the bigger issue.
Yeah.
The NRP does not like cars all the way down Highway 20. So we've allotted for that. We do have overflow parking at the field now by taking over the front section a little more.
Carpool if you can, guys.
Yeah, carpooling comes in huge.
Carpool on a Sunday, like on a regular walk-on too.
Yeah. I mean, and all these years, we've only had one bump in the ticket price, and that was a couple of years ago. It's still $30. September 1st, tickets go on sale. We're expanding it game-wise. There will be a lot more added. It'll be our biggest feat to pull off.
And you got to be there to see what's going to happen, because
Yes.
we're not talking about it right here.
We talked about it here just off air.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Last year was fun. Like I had a sprained wrist or whatever, so I was like, not here to play. I'm here to help out. What you need? Oh, help doing ref thing. Okay, cool. So I fucking walking around with the night vision on, making sure players are being safe and whatnot. And I thought the kid was 11 or something. Like some little kid is just like clearly lost. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, good. I'm like, you sure? You sure you're good, pal? And he's like, yeah, I can't find my CP. I'm like, okay, what, which faction, like what color, whatever. He's like, this one. I'm like, okay, follow me. So I'm like, you can see me all right? Do you need to hold my hand or something type of thing? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm walking this kid, whatever. And horde of zombies start coming up and the kid starts like lean away. And I just put my hand up at the zombies and I'm like, back off. He's under my protection. And all the zombies just without missing a beat, all the zombies just kind of stop, turn around and kept on going. Just,
that's good.
Last year was
so good.
Last year was the first year while being on field that I saw grown men cry.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
We stepped up our game on the scare factor, and that'll be back as usual.
Perfect.
So yeah, it should be. But just a reminder, it is pistols and shotguns only.
Yes.
That being said, you don't have to go out and buy $300 pistols to lose in the dark.
Clearsoft.
Hell yeah.
Run by Bass Pro. Pick up a $25 pistol.
Honestly, I kind of prefer a Clearsoft pistol because like the nighttime gets a little cooler or whatever.
Yep.
But it keeps you on your ammo count.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you cannot bring your own fucking BBs.
Nope.
Do not do that. I will slap you.
Yeah,
I will be there.
So the ammo this
Waiting.
year will actually be
Don't say
Won't
what
say
kind.
it.
Don't say what kind.
no
it is.
no no. I can actually say this. We have a security feature built into our ammo.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to say like what type it was.
no,
say that.
no.
We're going for neon blue.
Nope. We have a security feature built into it, and our refs will have a device to figure out if you're running our ammo or not.
Perfect.
I cannot wait to learn about that in
Yes.
10 minutes
Yep.
after we close.
I think I already know what it is.
One more time.
do
When
too.
do the tickets go on sale for that?
September 1st.
Okay, so September 1st.
They'll be available online through the NQ store on NiagaraQuartermaster.com. They'll be available at field every Sunday and in store as well.
Perfect.
Cool. And with that, I think it's probably a good place to wrap it up because
Yeah.
I know my attention span would be dwindling off at this point. But
I don't know. Dan's a good talker.
oh, I know. It doesn't have
Oh,
to
wow,
leave.
we're-
We just got to stop recording.
Shit, we're doing big times
Oh, yeah.
today.
This is going to be a big episode for us.
Ooh, big one.
Not the biggest.
Yeah.
No. That episode that
Got another
never
6
get
hours to go to beat that one.
we don't talk about that.
One
So
time.
Who left the mics on for that?
That
I don't
was
think I was there for that.
he wasn't there. I was in charge.
That's
Pete
say
didn't-
no more.
Pete didn't help.
I believe alcohol was
Drinks were
involved.
flowing.
Yeah, the Ink Boys brought some booze.
Oh,
and-
nice.
So quick shout out. We got Bone Apple Teeth.
Yeah,
That's right.
Bone
I
Apple
said it
Teeth.
right.
Good job.
They'll be attending the zombie game.
Oh,
They'll be
sweet.
at the zombie game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, you will
Kenzie.
be able to buy baked goods.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
they're delicious. You don't need to know what's in it. Just if you have allergies,
eat
you're
it.
pretty much safe.
just eat it.
Just eat the food.
And just to call back to one of our other episodes, John Does Stuff. If you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel yet, please go check it out because he just did a video. It's only like 5 minutes.
A 5-minute update of
to-
his grander scheme of things that he's up to.
but it's really cool because it actually showcases a lot of shots of the fields for NQ and stuff like that. And
Get
it's
to see Dan's handsome face.
yeah. And so if you didn't make it to Airsoft Fest and you just want like a really quick thing where you can kind of see and hear about some stuff going on, it's a great place to go check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, those two things. And with that,
With that,
that's all we got.
that's all, folks. That's it.
I don't want to get sued by Warner Brothers,
Oh.
so I'm not doing it.
Yeah, Spotify tried taking down some episodes already as it is.
Yeah. Wow.
We're popular.
But yeah.
But Pete, anything you got to add? You good? You're
No,
done?
I think we covered pretty much
Thank
everything.
God the
Awesome.
Acolyte seasons got
Thank
canceled.
fucking God. That's our Star Wars update for y'all.
Oh, we talked about it when you were in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, I had to pee. My
We
bad.
don't. That is kind of the good thing. We don't have to do like a season wrap up episode or anything like we thought we would have to. Just-
No,
it
I
was
remember when we
awful.
had this plan where we
Yeah.
were going to do like in every episode.
Yeah.
We were like,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh,
terrible.
that
I don't
would've
want to
been
talk
awful.
about it. I'm
No,
gonna
we'll
get
just
mad.
do it at the
It would have been
end.
5-minute episodes. Yeah, this episode sucked. All right. Yep.
Pretty
Okay,
much.
see you next week.
Pretty much what was happening in episode 1 was the same shit happening in episode last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddy has the apprentice. That's a twin. Good job. That's it.
No, they're not twins.
Yeah, they are.
Can we not get into it right now?
Oh, power of one.
It
the power
very
of fuck
clearly
off.
explains it in like the last episode somewhere. I just don't remember how it worked,
The
and there was no
Force.
Okay,
explanation.
It
Okay.
was the force.
Okay.
All right.
According to them,
Okay.
there was this. What was it called? The divergence? Is that what they called it?
Something.
Virgins or something.
Something.
Yeah.
It was a very powerful thing. These witches, who are not the witches of Dathomir,
Not the witch's deathmere.
not the
correct.
witches from Dathomir, just
Witches of
another
the
coven
Force.
of witches. Okay, they went to this place that had a very strong connection to the Force, and they took one soul. Oh, my mic just cut out. I got too
Uh-oh.
intense there. My mic cut out. They took one soul and split it into two.
So we're talking about Horcruxes.
Oh my God. And with that, we're done.
Now I see where their inspiration
Harry
came
Potter
from.
in space.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you made it this far, stay tuned for more episodes to come.
Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate it. For the love of God, please rate it.
Yep.
Makes
And
us look better than we
just
are.
a reminder from the start of the episode, Blackcell, their Discord, check out their volunteer program,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. It's definitely worth it. If you want to try something different, play an NPC, go try it. It's cool. It's a good time.
Yeah, you can ask about it in the Discord as well. So then that way, if you're not sure, you ask the questions. We'll be able to answer some, or the staff themselves will be able to answer it for you. It's all pretty vibey. No one's like super chatty for the sake of being chatty. It's very well managed.
It's still a new Discord. People are still trying to feel out, what is this exactly? Is it just information?
When people actually have something to say, they're saying it.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
And but
too many channels.
yeah.
But anyhow,
Cool. Thanks for stopping by.
goodbye.